So today I'm going to talk about two important technologies, augmented reality and virtual reality, because recently we are talking about 21st century skills. And last week I attended one conference also in Regional Institute of Education, where they were talking about how 21st century skills can be enhanced. In this, I will talk briefly about some of the technologies, and then I will also show that how we have used these technologies, and then we have done some kind of research also to see the effectiveness of these technologies. Now, I think all of you know this is P21 org also provided that what kind of skills we are looking from our next generation, or I can say the millennials. So first, very important is creativity and innovation. Today and in future, we are going to face a lot of complex, ill-structured problems, like and it is not limited in health education or food security, cyber security. A lot of complex problems we are going to face, and we are facing also. So we need innovation to solve these problems, and for that we need our kids, our students to be critical thinkers and problem solvers. And very important thing is that communication, because at present we are building a team to solve a problem, and there should be a communication among the kids or among the team members to solve the problem. And fourth, very important, is collaboration. So at present in this 21st century, I feel that you can't solve a problem individually. You need a good collaboration. Even for as you all are from research background, you are good researchers, so it's always good research when you have collaboration with different researchers, and the output is always very good. So these are the four important skills that we are looking forward for to inculcate among our kids. Now, what kind of challenges we are facing? The first very important challenge which we are facing is that the content which we are teaching, is it meaningful? That means the content which we are providing, is it enhancing the skills which we have discussed, like critical thinking or problem solving or collaboration or communication? Is it like that? Next very important point is the content or the teaching or learning process which we are going through. Is it joyful or enjoyable? Are our students are really enjoying our teaching? So that's a big question is there. Third very important point is interactive. Interactive in the sense I am saying, whether it's about the technology, if you are using the technology, whether there is an interaction between the system, technology system, and the user, or I'm talking about even if you are having a face-to-face classroom, whether there is a interaction between the teacher and the student, and or between the students. That is another very big challenge. Fourth, very important, is that whether it is really effective in nature. The whole teaching and learning process or the learning content, whatever we are providing, is it really effective in nature to develop those 21st century skills? So these are the challenges which we need to solve to enhance those skills. Now here, you can see there is an exponential growth in the technology. Right from we have started our journey from mainframe computer to desktop, now mobile internet. Now you can see we have 10 billion unit plus mobile phone and internet, and day by day it is increasing. It is not only in the developed countries, it is also in the developing countries. The digital penetration is very high. So now I can say that even the developing countries are also ready to integrate technology in their classroom. I'm just giving one example, like Indian government has already understood that technology integration is very important. So now Indian government has started Operation Whiteboard. So in each and every classroom, Indian government is providing smart board. And also there are some professional development programs are going to train the teachers to use new technologies. So I think which is a good move. So government is understanding. So I'm just giving that in developing countries also they have started to integrate technology in the classroom. Now, if I will talk about the emerging technologies, so in my view, these are the four important uh, emerging technologies in the 21st century: augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, and 3D printer. I will just talk about, because I have limited time, so I will just talk about the augmented reality and virtual reality. So because my area of research is augmented reality and virtual reality, so I do a lot of research. I develop the application, implement, and do the learning, do the effectiveness studies, or I can say empirical study, to test whether these technologies are really helpful for our students or not in different parameters. So in 2016, it is also celebrated as the year of virtuality. I think in countries like uh, China, Japan, Spain, so they have celebrated a year of virtuality. That means they have already understood the potential of this technology. Yeah, so you can see some of the examples here. Now, what is augmented reality? So in very simple terms, I can explain you. So basically, augmented reality has three basic characteristics. First, very important, is it combines with real world with a virtual world. That means you can add virtual elements in the presence of real world. Second, and very important, is that there should be interactivity in real time. That means there's the interaction between the user and the system. It should be at real time. Third, very important, which is very important characteristic of augmented reality, that it supports 3D visualization. So whenever you have some kind of simulation that provides you 3D visualization, where you can, I will show you some videos also where which will help you to understand what is this technology. So these are the three important characteristics which are defined by Azuma 1997, who was one of the great researchers in augmented reality. Now, basically, if you see, there are two types of augmented reality. One is the marker based, and another one is the location based. So marker based, what is happening? I think if you have a target image, you are just scanning. You are just scanning. Uh, I will request the participant, please mute your audio, because it is creating echo. So basically, marker based is you are scanning the image with your mobile camera, and then the 3D visualization will pop out on your screen. So it is based on the image recognition technology. Now, another very interesting is that location based. So I think some of you have played the game Pokemon game. So Pokemon, what is happening, like it is connected to your GPS. So at some specific location, the virtual characters will be there, and then you need to catch those characters, and then you will earn the points. So it's similar like location based augmented reality. So location based augmented reality you can find in many museums also. At a particular point of museum, the virtual characters will pop out, and then those elements will tell you or provide you different information about that place or artifacts or that structure. So that is location based augmented reality. Now there are different applications of augmented reality. Now it is applied in medical, it is applied as an entertainment also, in military also augmented reality is applied. But our concentration, main focus is in education. It is very interesting that augmented reality is not limited to any specific domain. You can find out that it can be applied in language and reading. It can be applied in mathematics and science. It can be applied in social studies. It can be applied in creativity also, like you can paint, draw, those kind of things. So there are lots of application of augmented reality in our domain, that is the education domain. Now let us go for what is virtual reality. Now in the virtual reality, what is I think if some of you are from computer science, so you may know Ivan Sutherland, who's the father of computer graphics. Actually, he first created the virtual reality and augmented reality head mounted space system, and Lanyon 1989 coined the first term, the virtual reality, and develop and promote a lot of application of virtual reality. Now, basically, we can see the virtual reality from two perspectives: technological perspective and psychological perspective. Now, if you see the technological perspective, it actually integrates audio, text, video, image, and provides in a three-dimensional environment. From the psychological perspective, that is very important. It is basically being there in the sense like totally immersive in nature. Now, suppose you have never visited Eiffel Tower, but I can create one environment. I can create one environment uh, when you are using head-mounted device of virtual reality, and then you will feel that you are in the Eiffel Tower, and you are taking the elevator from one floor to another floor of the Eiffel Tower. So that's a feeling. That feeling of being there is one of the important characteristics of virtual reality, and that comes under psychological perspective. So as I mentioned, so we can classify tech as a virtual reality as a technological perspective and psychological perspective. Now there are different types and characteristics of virtual reality. Now, if you see the types, I will say that it's basically game oriented and socially oriented. Now, I think you might familiar with the game of World of Warcraft. It's a very famous game, and what is happening that they have a precise rules and regulations, and for and then you can create your own specific characters, and then you can play that game. But however, socially oriented, it's more like a social chatting. You can create your own avatars, and then you can engage yourself with others in some virtual activities, and there is no precise rules. So that is the basic difference as a game oriented VR and the social oriented VR. Now, in my point of view, I consider always three I characteristics of virtual reality. The first very important is immersion, second is interaction, and third is imagination. Immersion in the sense, as I mentioned, that you are in, suppose I'm in India, but I can wear head mounted device of virtual reality, and I can feel that okay, I'm in the Eiffel Tower. So that is totally immersive in nature. Interaction in the sense that you can have real-time interaction with the system, like if you're taking elevator. So I have created one environment of Eiffel Tower, and then I am providing you one switch or button that you can turn on, and you will feel that you are taking the elevator to the in the Eiffel Tower. So that is the real-time interaction. Imagination, that means even though suppose I have created one fictional world, suppose I have created one galaxy for you. So when you are using that head-mounted device for the virtual reality, that uh, imaginative experience should be there. That means you will feel that okay, I'm in the galaxy, although maybe it is existing or maybe it is non-existing. So that kind of feel should be there. So these are the three important characteristics whenever we are talking about the virtual reality. Now there are different applications of virtual reality in education, like observational learning, operational learning, social learning, and scientific research. Now, observational learning, suppose now I am from IIT Kharagpur. The campus is 2,100-acre campus. It's a huge campus. Now suppose now we are doing one development program also, IIT KGP. So here what we are doing, we are creating the whole virtual environment, VR environment of IIT KGP, and the students, those who are joining IIT Kharagpur, very new. So they don't know where is the department where they can find some different stuffs, their necessary things where they can. So all those information will be collected, and the whole map, whole the campus, different buildings will be created as virtual reality, so that they can use the mobile phone and head mounted device, and then they can have all the information about it. Operational learning, there is a famous program from NASA. It's a Newton world. So in the Newton world, what is happening, the students can play with the different planets and they can observe different planets. They can have the different characteristics of the planets by wearing the HMD of virtual reality. The social learning is that a lot of even I think I'm forgetting the name. I think one researcher is using virtual reality in online learning. So all the participants, they have the head mounted devices, and now they have the social chatting or social interaction when they are taking the classes as online learning. So that's a very good use of virtual reality. And third and fourth and very important is about the scientific research. Virtual reality is being used especially in UK, University of College London, and then Imperial College. They use a lot of virtual reality technology to train their doctors, to train their nursing, even in the medical training, surgical training. A lot of VR technology is being used. Now, what is the basic difference between augmented reality and virtual reality? The basic difference is that in augmented reality, you are still in the real world. You are not disconnected. That means when any kind of 3D visualization is coming, you can see both the real world and the virtual elements. However, in the virtual reality, you are totally disconnected with the real world when you are wearing the head-mounted device. So, so while you are immersive in nature, you cannot see the world or the environment around, real environment around yourself. So that is the basic difference between augmented reality and virtual reality. Now, there are different advantages of augmented reality or virtual reality. This is according to me, and I'm more promoter. I believe augmented reality is, it's my view, I like more augmented reality over VR. First, very important point is that multimedia and multi-sensory display. That means whenever you are using for augmented reality, you just need any kind of a smartphone or smart device. So where you can, from your finger, you can rotate and zoom in, zoom out. So you can have a feeling when with your real world. But when you are using the virtual reality, nowadays the technology is improving, but still we are using the controllers. So for the when you are using the controller, that feeling or the sensory part is missing. But now there are some companies like Oculus Rift or Quest. I think now they have the finger gesture is also coming, but that is still under very new. Now the second point is the portable and cost effective. Now that is very important, like especially in the case of developing countries where the resources are limited. So how we can engage the learners? So virtual reality is costly. Like in Indian currency, if I am saying that if you are buying a virtual reality device, it costs you 1 lakh rupees. But for augmented reality, you don't need to buy any hardware devices. Even if you have the smartphone, that is enough for you. And very important thing is that it's augmented reality is portable in nature, because it can be integrated with smartphones. But for virtual reality, you need head-mounted devices, so it is difficult for large classroom to implement. Third very important point is that augmented reality is user-friendly as compared to the virtual reality. So that means whenever you are using virtual reality, you feel some kind of motion sickness, you feel some kind of cyber sickness. So some people, they can't use virtual reality more than 5 or 6 minutes. So a lot of research is also going on that how we can make virtual reality more user friendly. But at present, these are the 3 important advantages of augmented reality over virtual reality. Now I'm going to discuss some of my research that where we have used these technologies like augmented reality and virtual reality, and how we have implemented. Now this is about the Beyond the Flipped Classroom, a highly interactive cloud classroom embedded into basic material science courses. Now this research we have done in Taiwan. Now I think you know about Taiwan, that world's 70% of semiconductor devices, motherboards are being manufactured in Taiwan, and they have a lot of emphasis on material science courses, and they give a lot of opportunity for the students. The big companies like TSMC also promote material science courses in Taiwan. But if you see, the material science courses are being taught in the same traditional way. no other new innovative technologies integrated to teach these kind of courses. So I think you all of you know traditional mode of teaching. I no need to explain. The flipped classroom also, like you are developing your videos, uploading the videos, and then next time you are coming in the classroom and then have discussion and clearing the doubts of the student. Now we have proposed a different model. We proposed beyond flipped classroom teaching mode. Now what is this model? Before that, I want to give some of the information. Now, there are research studies which talks about the effectiveness of using computer simulation. Now, there are many positive effects, like it enhances problem solving skills, higher order thinking skills, it active engagement, also develop the scientific curiosity. And there was in research by Ruthen, where they found that if you're using the computer simulation in the traditional classroom, so it enhances the traditional instruction, so which is very good. So flipped classroom, we have already talked. Now there are some research studies about the flipped classroom also, that how flipped classroom can benefit us. So like its engagement, because you are not teaching in the classroom, you have discussion, problem solving activities in the classroom, and then the research is more like it is more from shifted from teacher centered to the student centered, and learning performance also increased, learning motivations also increased. But however, there are some challenges. So I think you know about the NMC Horizon report, so which was published by Johnson. So there were some points which were made. So some people mentioned that, or some researchers mentioned that watching uploaded videos still more like a traditional teaching. In fact, there was a research by MIT where they did one research that how long we have a attention span when we are watching a video. So they found, I think 3 to 4 minutes is the highest attention span. So that means, so that it needs, for flipped classroom, it needs a lot of self-regulation. How can you expect that a student is, or how can you measure that a student is really going through your videos before the classroom? And then there was also suggestion by Johnson and colleagues that beyond watching videos, that how we can improve this flipped classroom model by integrating some innovative technologies. So that motivated us, that we called it as a beyond flipped classroom, how we can improvise this flipped classroom model. Now you can see that over the past decades, we are teaching these models like simple cubic. These are the models which we are using to teach these crystal structures. Okay. Now what we have done in this study, we have created the augmented reality application to teach this kind of concepts. So let me, and then what we have done, we have developed interactive assessments also, and we used CCR. Now CCR is just like a clicker. Now basically, if you see, a clicker has classroom, in the classroom people are using clicker, like you have a optional like ABCD multiple choice question, and then you can have the poll. So the students, they if you are asking a question, the students are answering the multiple choice question, but it has a lot of limitation. First limitation is that it is expensive. I think 30 to 40 US dollar you need to pay per annum per subscriber. Second thing is that there is no option for the open-ended question. So what we have done, this CCR is just like a virtual clicker. So we developed this one, and it's open source and it's free, and it is available in 14 languages at present. And it is not only supporting the multiple choice question, it is supporting open-ended question, and it is AI based. It can classify the students based on their answers, and then it can select the student as a teacher, and then there is some gaming element also there, and then you can track the student progress throughout the course. So a lot of different features are there. So I can give the details. If someone is interested, they can explore this application. And the best part is that you just need a mobile phone. So if you have a smartphone and internet connectivity, so you can use the CCR. So and it's free. That is also very important. So what we have done here, So let me play the video so you can have some experience that how we are using the augmented reality. So this is one crystal structure image is there, and then this is the virtual. You can see this green one is the virtual element. It has come. Now you can rotate, and based on your progress, you can use your finger. You can rotate. You can zoom in. You can zoom out. You can move. There is narration is also going on. If you want to mute narration will be muted. If you want to hear the narration, you can slice it out also. So these all are fingers on your screens, and it is the 3D visualization will be provided. And these concepts are very difficult to find out the close compact cells. How these six particles are coming. So if you are using the traditional teaching, it's very difficult to make the students understand about these concepts. So this is one example of the CCR. Even like the CCR supports the multimedia also. You can take the picture and then you can post the answer also. You can have the videos also. So there are a lot of things which you can integrate with the CCR. Now what we have done, we have developed the AR application using the Unity platform, and then we have uploaded in the Dropbox, and then the students have gone through all the learning materials setup, and then they are going through the self-study. And then in the classroom, what we are doing, we are using the CCR for the discussion purpose, and even for the formative assessment also we are using the CCR. So in this way, you can improvise the flipped classroom model. So that's why we call it is the beyond flipped classroom model. So how AR can enhance, and we have done one effectiveness study which is published in the Journal of Science and Education Technology, and we found that not only in the post test but also in the delayed post test also the students perform very well. We have three dimensions like knowledge, comprehension, and application. In all the three dimensions, the students in the experimental group perform very well as compared to the control group. I'm not because I want to show you many things, so I am not discussing the results here. So next, we have done one research that how augmented reality can be integrated in the formative assessment. So this study also we have done in Taiwan, because Taiwan is also known as a land of butterflies. So there are more than 450 species of butterflies. And in grade 4, they have a chapter in environmental science where they need to understand or they need to know different butterfly species of their countries. So basically why we do the formative assessment. So formative assessment we do to identify misconception of our students, and then help the teachers to adjust their teaching and improvise the students learning experience. So there are two important components of formative assessment. First is informative feedback, and second thing is that immediate feedback. Now, what is happening in the traditional mode of formative assessment, that we are taking the assessment, but we are giving the scores, but we are not giving the feedback, and those scores are also being provided to the students after 1 week or 2 weeks. But if we are using any technology or the system where we can directly at the present time, we can give the informative and immediate feedback, that really helps the student to identify their own misconceptions and errors. So that is the one purpose for us. Now there are different benefits of formative assessment also. So in the literature, it is there that it helps to identify weakness and deficiencies in external activities, also identifies learners specific errors and misconception, which when we identify and then when we can give some kind of remediation to the student, it automatically helping the student to improve their learning and performance, and which will ultimately help the student to gain their confidence and motivation to learn. So these are different benefits of the formative assessment. Now, what challenges actually we are facing in our present formative assessment? First is that, is it more informative feedback we are giving? Like suppose I have 250 students in my course. So if I am not using any kind of technology and I need to check 250 copies, how I can give the informative feedback? It is impossible for me. Second point is that, is it more efficient in nature? No. It takes a lot of time for scoring, and sometimes we make error also. Third part is that how we can make the assessment part as more cost effective, because it expenses on human scoring process. Also, a lot of papers we are using, which is environment, how we can make it more environment friendly also. And fourth, very important, is that the concept of interactive assessment, how we can make assessment also as interactive, how we can use some kind of technology where the assessment can also be the joyful for the student, or student can enjoy the assessment part also. So these are the challenges. So what were our objective? We developed one AR based formative assessment, and then we compared with the traditional mode of assessment. Now what is happening here? So these are the different butterfly species here, and what we have done, we have developed one assessment. So here you can see that we are providing the student, when the students are going in the biology lab, they first see the specimens. After that, we provide them some image target, and then they are using the image target and using their smartphone or their iPad or tablet, and then they explore different characteristics of the butterfly, and then they have different species also. And then in the next part, what we are doing, we are giving randomly different target image, and then they are scanning, and then we are asking that which butterfly species this. In the second part, we have, you can see these are, sorry, Chinese characters are there. So these are the different parts of butterfly. Now we are asking the student to drag and drop the correct parts with the correct name. So that is one kind of interactive assessment is there. And here we are also calculating that how many times the students are making any kind of mistakes or errors, and then we are also providing the real-time feedback that where they are making any kind of error. So in this way, AR-based formative assessment we can make the assessment also more enjoyable and also effective in nature also. Because in the biology lab, when you are going to see the specimen, first you can't touch those specimens, so you cannot explore different features of those butterflies. Second part is that it's very limited time, and the specimen is only one or two, and if it's a large scale classroom, so it's difficult. But once you have this kind of smartphone or AR, so students have a lot of time to explore different features of butterfly, which help them to visualize those butterflies, and which can be stored in their long-term memory. So this is another example that how we have used augmented reality in the assessment purpose. This is another work we have done recently in IIT Kharagpur. So we are at present we are talking about a lot about the computational thinking. So our idea is that how we can develop some kind of games for elementary students to learn the coding. So we developed one game called Code AR. So it is basically an augmented reality game to teach to learn programming. So it can be for the middle school also. It can be we can start this from elementary school also, because I think in countries like UK, Hong Kong, and then Finland, Japan, in Singapore, they have already started coding for the students. In fact, in India also, in CBSE we have started one pilot study. So because in future we are going to face a lot of problems, so like AI application, machine learning, so those needs a good coding skill. So that's why we want our student to be trained right from the beginning in the school to have a good coding. So what we have done, we have developed a platform to teach, and then we gamified the learning process by including the gaming elements. So we have used, like, these are the, I think if some of you are from computer science background, so you know about the for loop and hope. So these are the block diagrams which are corresponding codes, and then they need to arrange in a logical sequence. So these are this, we have created some kind of markers here. Now I will show you one video. So there is, what you can see, there is a bunny character is there. So if you are making correct allocation, then you can eat the carrot. So this is a simple game we have created using the augmented reality. So here is the information of markers are required, and then label is generated, and then play button. So let me try if I can play it. So you can see that bunny character is moving, and whenever all the correct information is provided, so the bunny character catches the carrot. So we have not done yet any kind of empirical study. So we are still improvising this application. We have taken some feedback from the students, from the expert members who are teaching the computer programming, and then we are improvising. So hopefully by the end of this month, the complete application will be ready, and then we are going to test this application whether it really improves the coding skill of the students or not. Next, this is, we are at present another work I am doing in IIT Kharagpur. So because IIT Kharagpur is mainly for the engineering courses, so we have developed one augmented reality based application for the training of lathe machines. So what is in the lathe machine, what is happening? First year student, they need to cut and have different shapes they need to make. So in mechanical engineering also, students are using the lathe machine. So what we are doing here, how we can provide an interactive learning platform, and to facilitate learning without assistance of human guide. The problem is that when they have the labs for this kind of training for these lathe machines, in a single classroom, I think they have 60 students, and the lathe machines maybe 1, 2, 3. That's all. So uh, so we thought that how we can make this make one AR application to improvise this. So basically it provides the exported part for different visualization, then virtual animations are there, but voice instruction are there, and then different theories are also explained in the manufacturing things. So we developed this using the Unity engine, and then we use the SDK as Euphoria, and then for the 3D rendering we use OpenGL. So OpenGL is a free of cost, you can do. And then the designing of CAD models, we use the SolidWorks PTC Ario. So let me just provide you a demo. So this is one lathe machine. When you are scanning the lathe machine, all the different, and then the details you want to all the information will be provided. Different parts are visualized here. At present, if there is a machine, you cannot see the machine. However, augmented reality is helping you to understand different parts of the lathe machine, even the functions of different. So you can see the different parts also, and then there will be different instruction also. So even there is no lab instructor, you can learn by yourself for the different parts. So this is one uh, research we are doing. This is still under the under development process. So hopefully we will finish this also very soon, and then we will go for the empirical study. This is the last study which I want to show you. So I think I have less time. So this is one research we are collaborating with University of North Texas with Professor Michael Spector, and this is funded by NetDragon WebSoft, which is a Chinese company. So here, what we are saying that we the critical thinking skills we can enhance using the technology. That is our belief. We are not, we have not done any kind of empirical study yet, but we feel that we can train the students to develop critical thinking skills. So I think you all of you are very much aware of these great researchers. So like they have different definitions for for critical thinking. So basically they are saying that cognitive skills and strategies which are purposeful or goal directed to enable someone to be likely achieve problem solving activities. And then Ennis is saying said that it is more deciding what to believe or to do. And then Bloom's we have different domains, we have different dimensions are there. So critical think. So what we have, we are planning to have a series of games to develop inquiry and critical thinking skills. So there are different phases and competencies we are expecting. The first phase will be the inquiry and puzzlement, where there will be some observation will be there, and then the user or the student need to answer and ask the question. Then the next step is the exploration and hypothesis formation, where they need to create an explanation what they have uh, identified some factors. Then evidence and hypothesis testing. So you can see a series of phases are there, and then we are expecting the on the right side we are expecting these kind of competencies from the student and the user. So this we have already developed one VR game for first phase at present. Now we have created one 3D learning space for critical thinking. So in this space, you can create your own environment very easily. You no need of any kind of program. Uh, so just I will take just 2 minutes. So basically it's a series of game, and then we have the interface between the game and the learner also, and then we create the immersive case study also. So I will just show you one demo, and then I will just stop here because I think I have less time. So this is one VR environment where you can create, but dragging and dropping the elements are there, and then you can have your own environment there. So this is the VR environment you can create for the thing. And this is, I think I am already out of time. So my basic conclusion will be there that technology can be a bridge between the school experiences and real experiences. And these are the emerging technologies like augmented reality and virtual reality can really help us to build this bridge. And there are future challenges are there if I can classify into learning experience technology. So we should take care of the cognitive load, and then whenever we are developing these kind of technologies and implementing, we must do some kind of empirical studies also. And about the data privacy, whenever we are using this technology, so data security is an important concern, so we need to be very careful. And device cost and portability, and how better we can use these technologies with the environment, that is also very important. So these are the future challenges, and my team and me are we are working on that, how to solve and provide the solution for these challenges. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much.